So what we were seeing was pictures from Israel's military about 5 kilometres from the centre of Gaza. Those sites have been identified and geolocated to be about 5 kilometres from the absolute centre of Gaza City. That doesn't mean they're not raiding deep into Gaza City and they're not fighting Hamas inside Gaza City itself, but it looks like they do not yet occupy the central area of Gaza City. And residents in there have been telling us they don't see Israeli soldiers deep inside Gaza City yet. But it looks like that it's going to be inevitable. Hamas have not performed as well as they were claiming, as well as they were boasting at the start of this conflict. And as well as I think their backers around the region were hoping. I was speaking to a retired Israeli general this morning who said he expects it to take another 10 days to 2 weeks for Israeli forces to fully subdue any resistance within Gaza City. But he thinks after that point, Hamas's capacity to resist in the north part of the Gaza Strip will be exhausted.
And Erik, how certain are we that Hamas's most senior leader has been cornered as reported by Israel? How significant would this development be if it were the case?
Yeah, I heard Israel's defence minister and the military saying Yahya Sinwar, the leader of a significant part of Hamas, is hiding in his bunker. It's hard to know. Is the honest answer. He could be. He is expected to by most people to still be in Gaza and to be hiding in one of the deep tunnels that Hamas is thought to have built underneath Gaza City. But the truth is, I'm not sure Israeli's intelligence may have a good idea of where he is, but the rest of us certainly have no way of verifying it, and he is an elusive figure at the best of times. If Israel did have him pinned down, they knew his location and they were closing in on him, that would be significant. Yahya Sinwar is both a political figure and a military planner. He's thought to have had extensive involvement in at least conceptualising and perhaps planning elements of the October the 7th attacks inside Israel. So yeah, this would be a major trophy for Israel, and he was previously in Israeli custody for a number of years. He was released as part of a prisoner swap. So, they've had him before and they certainly regretted letting him go. To catch him this time would be one of Israel's biggest achievements in this conflict.
Meanwhile, the White House says it would oppose a reoccupation of Gaza by Israel's military after the war. Is this something that we would expect from the US, a response from the US?
Well, I think the US has already said it doesn't like that idea. It's a popular idea in Israel. A lot of Israelis, after Hamas took over Gaza and began rocket attacks into civilian areas inside Israel, a lot of Israelis questioned the decision of former Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon to unilaterally disengage. That's what it's called here, the disengagement from Gaza in 2005. It was a contentious decision at the time. Ariel Sharon thought it would in the long term improve Israel's security, but most Israelis now see it as a decision that actually threatened Israel's security, allowing Hamas to build up weapons and capability to threaten Israel. And we saw what they did in those coordinated attacks on October the 7th. So there's a lot of appetite for some kind of continuing security presence inside Gaza in the Israeli public and polity amongst Israeli politicians. But I think the international community may view this as unacceptable. It wants to see ways for Israel to end its occupation, to step back from Palestinian areas. This would entail going in the complete opposite direction. And that's something that Israel may have a hard time convincing the world is a good idea, even though everybody saw what happened on October the 7th and perhaps appreciate the need for demilitarisation inside Gaza.
Erik Tlozek in Jerusalem, thank you.